is Talking Reds. I'm Josh Sexton. Joined today, I think it's the first time on the video together, isn't it, Ian?
It is, mate. It's my first one in a while, this, you know.
Is it?
Yeah, first one in a while.
Been dropped, lad, yeah?
A little bit, yeah. So, it feels that way anyway.
Well, Ian is definitely one of our big hitters on the Team Talk show. If you don't listen to that, if you don't subscribe to Anfield Rap, I'd definitely recommend you get on that. We've just recorded one right now, previewing the Arsenal game, and it's absolute fire, isn't it, Ian, to be honest?
I mean, yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable scenes.
Well,
if you haven't seen it, by the way, if there's a little clip, Mo Stewart's on it, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen him rig out.
Mo Stewart's rig out today, honestly. Absolutely prime, it was. Unreal. A couple of things we did talk about on the Team Talk we'll be talking about here, so I don't know if you're into that kind of fusion, but, you know, we are, so sound. Henderson and Keita going to be out of the game, Jurgen Klopp confirmed. Do you think there's a case that Shaqiri could start then? And do you think maybe it would be Fabinho and a bit more of a robust midfield?
I think there is a case. I mean, given how he's performed in the games we've seen him, I know we get to take it off against Southampton, but I think most people would agree he played well that day. He was having a really good 45, but there was probably some off-the-ball stuff that Jurgen wasn't quite happy with, and I think that's just an adjustment period. But then you see him come on last week, and he's lively, isn't he? He kind of ignites Liverpool that day. Him and Milner come on and kind of change the game a little bit from an offensive point of view. They want the ball, the prod and the probing and stuff, and his goal was great. But I do suspect that the manager goes with more of a robust, solid three in the middle of the park, and I think you could see, depending on the system, obviously, but you know, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Milner feels to me like it's something that could, you know, certainly happen on Saturday. I think, you know, we could have a conversation about Henderson if he was fit. I think the manager, you know, he puts a lot of kind of, I suppose, faith in the players that he trusts who've been there and done it for him in the past. And I think, you know, Henderson may have started, but it would be interesting to see a Fabinho, Wijnaldum kind of two with them, maybe Shaqiri just in front of them, and then the three. I mean, that would excite you, but I just don't know whether Jurgen may think it's maybe too bold for Arsenal away Saturday night. You know, they're playing well offensively, they're really good. I think, again, you can have a conversation about Arsenal defensively, because if there's one thing I think everyone's picked up on in recent weeks is that they give you an opportunity, they give you a chance. They start games really, really slow. You know, recent home matches, Leicester and Everton, both could have been 2 or 3 goals up, and you know, Arsenal still find themselves in those football matches, and then they've obviously got offensive players who can hurt you given the opportunity. But we're a different proposition now than the Arsenal game last season, where obviously, you know, where defensive mistakes cost us a little bit. Van Dijk's there now, obviously Alisson's a big addition as well, but it does all bode well for a really good football match on Saturday night. Yeah,
and there were some concerns in the week about Mo Salah's fitness. I think they've been pitched him going around with a wrist splint on, but Klopp's confirmed that he's going to be fit. And how crucial is he going to be in this game? Because he's obviously looking like he's back in form now, 4 goals in his last 3 games, and if we are going to make a fast start in this game, he is going to be crucial to that, isn't he?
I think that's the key, the fast start. You want it to be high intensity from minute 1 from the Reds, and I'm sure that's what the manager will be looking to do. But yeah, Salah, you start to see real signs on, you know, real green shoots of like the Salah we kind of know and we loved from last season, when he was, you know, at times single-handedly kind of, you know, dragging Liverpool over the line. And that's probably a little bit unfair on the other players, because, you know, we had some great performances last year, but it did seem that he was scoring in every single game. You almost felt you're going into a football match and you'd already won up because you knew Mo Salah was going to score. And it started a little bit slowly for him this season, but I think there was always a chance that was going to be the case. You know, he's exploited the World Cup, you know, he had the injury, you know, the hangover from the Champions League final, and just because he was so unbelievably brilliant last year, you're going to get defences and teams paying him far more respect, paying him far more notice, setting up to stop him from doing what he did last year. But I think we've seen in the last couple of games certainly that not only the goals are back, but actually there's a bit of that old Mo Salah confidence coming back as well, which is great to see.
Yeah, and the fast start crucial as well, because Arsenal have sort of been slow starters in a couple of their games this season, and their defence looks like it might be a bit of patchwork at the weekend as well. So the talk of Socrates coming back in to partner Rob Holding, and I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, someone who's quick like Salah, got Mane on the left hand side as well, them lads can get at them.
I mean, whichever defensive partnership he goes with, Emery, I think, you know,
they're all shy.
Yeah. Doesn't really fucking matter, to be honest. No, I mean, obviously Mustafi, I thought he would play. We had a debate on the Team Talk show, and I know Mo thought otherwise, but Rob Holding's not great.
No.
He's just not great, you know what I mean? He's not. And I've watched him a fair bit this season, and I think in the full-back areas they've potentially got problems. You know, Bellerin's very kind of doubtful, and that's an issue for them. I mean, they even end up with kind of Xhaka playing left-back last week, which I don't think will happen this week, but that's wild, isn't it? Because he's not great defensively. And I think it all, for me, you don't want to be too overconfident in these games because it can come back and bite you on the arse. But just from what I've seen from Arsenal this year, and offensively, you have to say yes, they're great. If you give them opportunities, they can punish you. But I just don't see how Liverpool don't find a way to win this football match because we've got so much attack and threat. And I know at times it's not being quite full throttle stuff, but you can't see us not getting opportunities on Saturday. You just can't. And that for me leads me down the path of a Liverpool win, but I do think the starting fasting, we've got to get into them because they do give you opportunities, they do take time to get into football matches, so let's start fast. But if it doesn't go well, then I think, you know, Jurgen will have options on the bench, which again is something, it's a real positive this season that you can actually look to our bench now and think, well, if it's not going quite how you want it to, there's opportunities to change it. There's lads on there who can come on and affect football matches.
Yeah, I mentioned at the start of the video that we've been recording the team talk today. That's going to be out sort of any minute now from when this gets published. It might already be out if you are subscribed to Talk Player. But we've also got Free Show, which came out earlier today, and that is The Weekender. And here's a little clip from that to whet your appetite.
Liverpool have got the opportunity now to go to Arsenal, put a show on, and it's like that Rafa thing, innit? I'm just going to take it one game at a time. I hope we win all of them.
When you talk about putting a show on, because the club has been really quiet this week, Paul, on the team news, we're not clear on whether or not, for instance, Henderson's going to make it. And I think
I don't want to know until the team's announced because I don't want Unai Emery to know.
Diddled 15 minutes before, you mean?
Yeah, well, shut up, John. There is a thing, isn't there, where I can't quite work out what's in Liverpool's interest here, in that I don't know whether or not they should go to Arsenal and treat it like the European side from last season, the European approach, go with the 4-3-3 and absolutely look to outmuscle them, win it back, be right in the faces, counter on them so quickly, exploit those spaces, because I don't think Emery changes it. I think people will say maybe he should, and I think there's every chance this becomes one of those post matches if it goes the way we hope, where afterwards everyone says, well, he should have changed, he should have done this, he should have done that, whereas he himself's thinking, hang on, I'm 10 games into my tenure at this club, I'm setting out the way we play and I'm sticking to it, I'm not compromising on that. I want it to be one of them. I want Carragher and Neville arguing on Monday night about how he did the wrong thing and all of that sort of stuff. What I would say, and you may well say, is the right thing. Yeah. I think that's what we want here, but what I'm saying is that if he does do that, and I expect him to, which Liverpool side set up shape is the one to best take advantage of the way that you've seen them play this season?
He's a bit of a timid manager. He's not a visibly big personality, Unai Emery, but he's a good manager. He's a very, very good manager. And it's no joke that he got that PSG job when he did. He got the PSG job because everyone thinks he's brilliant, and I think you can see the difference in Arsenal this year, replacing a brilliant manager that he is brilliant. And I think you might be right that he might feel that he can't change because of Liverpool and wants to put that message out to his players. But I would absolutely attack them on Saturday night. I would go 4-2-3-1 and I would absolutely go for them. If you're going to get Granit Xhaka at left back and you're going to be getting Rob Holding and Stefan Lichtsteiner, who was too old for Juventus in the Italian league last season, next to the other centre half that they'll play, Mustafi, who got bombed in the middle of last season. Liverpool have got to go for them. Play Shaqiri, go play the three up front, go for the throat, and blow them away. Because I think if Liverpool go there and get the first goal, Arsenal heads could fall off.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed that, and if you do want more of that, that is our free show, The Weekender. But also, drop a little subscribe to Talk Player. It's only £5 a month, isn't it, lad? I mean, what are they doing?
That week of the show, actually, I've listened to it this morning. There's this good footy debate.
Straight on it, weren't you, lad?
I was. Don't mess about me, you know what I mean? It was very much senior Milburn, lock and horns.
Yeah.
Immovable object, irresistible force. I liked it.
Two big lads.
Two big units, absolutely.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to see him in an actual fight, to be honest.
Who's your money?
Be chaos. Save that for another time, I reckon. Melbourne. Yeah, earlier this week though, I was lucky enough to be invited down to a press screening of the Steven Gerrard film. You might have seen the trailer from it kicking about in recent days. It's really, really good, to be honest. It sort of brought back a lot of emotions for me, good and bad. Some good times thinking about Istanbul in particular when all that happened, but then also around that when Gerrard was looking to move to Chelsea, and there was a lot of sort of bad things around that, and how Rafa was quite cold towards him, and you're almost thinking if you wanted Gerrard to sort of be managed by Jurgen Klopp now, someone's putting an arm around him and go, no, you are important to us. But it felt like Rafa didn't want to sort of give away his pride and say to Gerrard, look, we want to keep you, you're dead important, and then Gerrard maybe throw it back in his face. I saw how it felt at the time, wasn't it?
It was interesting at the time. I mean, I think you're right to reference the fact that, like, Gerrard as a person, you always felt that he wanted that arm around the shoulder. That's how he responded best, isn't it? Whereas I think some players, or maybe even someone like Carragher, I don't think he was really arsed. He just wanted to play football matches, and he was in the starting 11. That was good enough for him, whether he got a pat on the back or not. But I think there's loads of players they want that appreciation, don't they? They want the manager to tell them they're doing a good job, and Stevie certainly comes across like that. And I must admit, I'm kind of enjoying the little clips of him now as a manager. You know, when you see him giving his press conference and stuff, and there was a bit of a, maybe not split down the middle, but I know some people didn't like how he was in that recent one. You know, when he kind of jumps in, Roster's getting.
I was really into it.
I thought it was great. You know, I really liked the way he stepped across him and just said, "Listen, I'm taking this question. All right, lad, okay." You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. And then I thought he handled it really well, and he speaks how you. When I think about how I want managers to sound, I love that. I love the way there's passion about it, but there's also, like, you can tell he's strategically thinking about the football matches, but also, you know, fans want to wear that. You know, if players aren't doing what you want them to do in big moments, in big football matches, then, you know, you go and get someone else who's going to do that. And I remember, like, Craig Bellamy talking about Steven Gerrard, and he said, even when he was at Liverpool, you could tell he was like a deep thinker about the game. You know, he always wanted to know more tactically. He was always switched on to what was going on around him from a tactical perspective. So it all bodes really well, and you wonder where kind of Gerrard's kind of path leads, and where's it going to be, you know, in years to come at Liverpool Football Club. I think that's a great story, but obviously a lot will depend on how he does in his managerial career, and it's probably far too early to kind of make those kind of assumptions.
Yeah, and there was a lot about 13-14 in the film as well, and how much missing out on that Premier League meant to him. Won everything during his time at Liverpool, but that is the one trophy he missed out on. And one thing I took away from the film in particular, I came back and said to Walshy and Craig in the office, I'd absolutely love him to come back and manage Liverpool and win the Premier League. But then I suppose the flip side of that is that he could come back and sort of ruin his legacy, which would be a bit of a shame.
That's the fairy tale, isn't it? It's fairy tale stuff. And I always remember thinking when Kenny came back the second time, I remember people having debates about, you know, does he come back and slightly tarnish what is and has been an unbelievable legacy by coming back and maybe it not going quite so well. So you've always got to take that into account. But I think from kind of knowing Gerrard from afar, just in terms of how you see him play, how he speaks, how he interacts, and his thoughts on football, if that opportunity ever came up, then there's not a chance in the world he's turning it down. You know, that's probably what he's in it for. You know, his dream is to manage this football club. But, you know, there's very little room for sentiment in football, so you've got to be doing the business to get an opportunity to manage this football club. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned right now, you just want to see Jurgen Klopp crack on and be successful.
Yeah, that film comes out on the 15th of November, I think it is. So if you're an Amazon Prime user, you'll be able to get that, and I'd definitely recommend watching it. But that has been Talking Reds. Nice one, Ian.
Up the Reds.
Up the Reds.
It's the best thing that can ever happen to a kid. I achieved things that I didn't dream of achieving.
This is absolute perfection. Liverpool are European champions!
I've also had some cruel setbacks along the way as well. And I didn't think I'd have to live with the feelings of them.
Gerrard charging through the midfield!
What you've got to understand is this is my life. Football's not about turning up and playing. It's about dealing with everything that comes with it.
Look, football change. Society change. World change.
I was Liverpool captain. Liverpool captains always deliver. They have to. The history, the tradition, the success. You feel the responsibility. I was one trophy away, but I knew I was running out of time. The thought of leaving Liverpool starts creeping in.
Devastated.
It's all about money, traitor.
Steven Gerrard moves, that's when a team falls apart.
Remember where you're from, remember who made you. I wanted to help the people that I love, my supporters, my family. Am I worthy? Am I good enough?